Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how to blend two colors together in watercolor so that it's nice and consistent and it's a nice even transition. Okay, that's hard to do in a way that you can really control in watercolor. So let's say, for example, that you're doing a still life and you have light source coming here, and you need to show that it's lighter over here on this object, but it's darker over here on this side, right? So what you have is black, and then you have a shade of red, which is red mixed with black. And then you have a little bit lighter shade, which is more red, less black. And then over here you have red and then pink or a tint, okay? So how do you make a nice blend with all of those? So the easiest way is to pre-mix those shades. So the darkest shade I mixed here, the lighter shade, which is red with a little less black, I mixed here. And then I have my red, and I'll use water for this, okay? I also have black, obviously, in my palette. So here's how it would go. So we would start out by getting our color ready. Make sure you really put a lot of paint on there and not too much water. So you want it to be watery. And let's say, for example, I'm now doing the sphere part of my composition. And I have light source coming this way. So I know this part has to be light. So this is gonna be where my darkness is, okay? So I'm gonna start out with black. I'm gonna put my black on the edge of this. Remember, you're always working at a crescent when you're doing spheres. It should be a little bit more black. Okay, now right next to that black, I'm gonna go right in, I'm gonna wash my brush, blot, always wash and blot, go in with my darkest shade. I'm gonna go right next to that black. Go right next to the black, and I even overlap it a little bit. So I'm gonna go back over it now, and that allows me to blend it out. Okay, now I'm gonna go wash my brush, blot with my paper towel. Now I go into my lighter shade. This is more red, a little less black. I go right next to what I just did, and I overlap it a little bit. So we don't want that boundary to be there. So we go back over what we just did, and that helps us to blend. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in with my red. That's way too much water, so I take my paper towel and I pull it up. Okay, all right, I get back into my red. I'm gonna go red right here. And I'm gonna go back over what I just did because I'm blending them together. And then tap, 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 I go into my paper towel. Now this is just a clean brush with water on it. And now I'm gonna start drawing this color out. So I'm gonna get pink here. This is a tint of red. So you just use, when you're ready to do that, then you can use your brush with just clean water on it. You don't wanna do that anytime before the very end. If you do that, if I were to go in right here with my wet brush, it would create like a white hole right there. So wet brushes are always gonna pull paint up from what you've just done. Okay, now I need a tiny bit more red because it's not blending totally. So I'm just adding a little bit more red, a little bit more red. And I'm blending back a little bit. Okay, and then last but not least, if you really need to add like some white to your composition, you get a clean brush, you make it completely dry, like absolutely completely dry. Okay, and then I can go like this. I can actually just go right into what I just did and make it white, wherever I dot it. Another thing you can do like that is use a paper towel to blot. So let's say, for example, like I noticed right here, there's a smudge. So you can go right over whatever your smudge is with your clean, wet brush, just like this. And you really have to kind of work it in some areas. And then quickly get your paper towel and just in a dry spot, has to be dry, and push and pull it up. Push and pull it up, push and pull it up, push and pull it up, push and pull it up. And now it's gone, and I can easily paint over that and you wouldn't see it, right? Now, this is not completely perfect, but this shows you how you can get a nice even blend, okay? So you're just pre-mixing your darkest shade, your next lightest shade, etc., and you're going back over things, you're overlapping, and then you're blending, okay?